Do you do like, it's because on Spotify you guys are under Kid Brothers, but is it Los Kid Brothers or just Kid Brothers?
Wow. Honestly, we were Kid Brothers for so long, but Los Kid Brothers seem to be coming off. And now we're, with you asking this question, I'm like, should we go back and rebrand it all? Like, but yeah, no, I mean, we were always Kid Brothers before, but as we started making music that was more in Spanish and just kind of more, we kind of realized that that was kind of this thing that was different about our music was that it had like Mexican, Hispanic influence. We kind of realized that Los Kid Brothers kind of lets people know that like what they're about to hear is possibly in Spanish, you know?
Yeah, and I guess the other thing that does that is an Instagram tag. Like if you see anything that's automatically the name. So sometimes I see friends of mine and I see their Instagram tag, you know.
I think with Los Kid Brothers, it's definitely something that happened naturally with, just with the Instagram handle and then people just referring to that as normal. And I think like Eric said, it's a good way of letting people know, like, hey, we are Mexican. And
Yeah. And it's one of those like, things that we do down here. Nah, es que los Kid Brothers kind of thing. So
Exactly.
I think it's, it's something we do down here. So I dig it. I like it. I mean, I don't know about rebranding. I think you should keep it.
Drop the.
Well, it's because if you add Los, or can you do that on Spotify without like losing everything?
We'll have to ask the overlords.
You might lose everything and have to like start from scratch if you're going to change your name. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that might not be a smart thing to do. So you guys have a new album, Puro Pinche Pari. Or Puro Pinche Pari.
Hey, so
exactly. What was different about this one? I guess to narrow it down, like recording wise and concept of it.
Okay, Eric, you want to tell a little bit how we went about at least creating the last few songs, how we did that process?
Yeah. So this album has kind of been in the works for probably I would say 2 years. And like, because we've had some of the songs like kind of on deck and we just never went into producing them and getting the little nitty gritty details out. But like this last year, especially with COVID, we kind of had time to buckle down and just focus on like finishing the project. And as far as recording, we got some more help involved with like mixing and engineering. Our friend Alberto Medina in Mexico City, he helped us engineer the project. Dano Lopez too, and MC Righteous out here in Austin. We got more help with the mixing part, but as far as the producing, it was really no different from the old projects we did. Me and Louis just got together, just hung out, because we are really brothers. We're blood brothers for real. So we just hang out and just put some music on and then either vibe to it and write and then record it all one night, or just scrap it and so a lot of these songs were just like having fun, hanging out, partying, and then just doing the mixing process and the composition process afterwards, and just using those ideas. 'Cause I mean that's kind of the vibe of the album, is like having fun, just like hanging with friends, hanging with family especially. So
did you all go to an actual studio or was this all in-house?
Oh no, we recorded everything like in my room. And
in your room? Okay.
Yeah, we have like now, I mean, obviously with the internet, we can just send files and stuff and have other people engineer it. But as far as recording and stuff, yeah, it was just me and my brother hanging out. I got some mics and some stuff set up here in the closet, and just
with the exception of Take Me Home. Take Me Home, we actually recorded it, at least the vocals, with MC Righteous in Austin in his studio.
Yeah. Okay. He also has a home studio too, where it's like his living room set up and he's got a whole thing. So as far as being like in those agency studios, we've never recorded in one of those before. It's always been DIY kind of stuff, or other people like us that are young kids trying to make the music thing happen.
I guess without getting too geeky and stuff, do you have any pretty good gear, or is it kind of like, oh man, this is just basic?
I mean, I would say it's definitely not basic, but it's just a little level,
okay,
little level above like really crappy. I would say like we got audio interfaces and good cords and like good mics, but I don't have like a CPU or like huge hardware that can process like really expensive gear. So I pretty much just anything that the MacBook Pro can process, which is just pretty much like, can show you like a Scarlett little thing like this, simple mic. And I mean, anything above that, I don't think my computer could handle. So But I would say that's not the lowest level. I would say that's just a little bit above the USB mics, but it's
We
not.
make
It's not.
do.
We make it work. We make it work.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, there's a lot. Everybody's doing it now like that. I mean, you know, and there's a bit of a charm to it also, and I hate super processed like stuff, right? I mean, it's just you can tell you can tell when you're listening to like, you know, mainstream stuff, and you're like, oh man, that's hardcore auto tuning, even though it's like at the slightest, but you know that's nobody can get that melody going like that without like any imperfections. Like you're crazy.
Just robot.
What do y'all think about that? Like, what's that?
Just robot music now.
Yeah, yeah. What do y'all think about that? Like super perfect music.
Well, I mean, me personally, there's random pop I like. I'm really into Bad Bunny, and I mean, some of the production is kind of insane. Like, it's like, what am I listening to here? But some of it's really good. So I think it just kind of depends on the artists themselves. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know a single Imagine Dragons song, but I don't like. I mean, no hate against them, but I know that they're a very like popular like.
Thunder and the lightning.
But I mean, so yeah, I guess it just kind of depends on the
Yeah,
artist.
dude, I'm super like I'm a in the closet Billie Eilish fan.
Oh, I love it.
Like that.
I love Billie Eilish. I love, and her new stuff is like, I love how she's progressing. Like, it was like, I'm dark and rebellious, and now she's like, I don't know, she's playing piano, she's doing these virtual shows, like, she's killing it.
I think the testament of a good song, and I think I've said this before, testament of a good song is if you can play it acoustic and it sounds amazing. And she did an Apple, like Apple had some awards kind of thing going on at headquarters in Cupertino, and she played acoustic, I think with her brother. It's her brother that does all the production. She had there was a piano and her, and that was it. And it was like, oh my God, this. So it's, I guess that's my like benchmark. If you got a good song like acoustic, you'll be fine.
There's actually a YouTube video of Billie singing a Carla Morrison song on a ukulele, and she's singing in Spanish. If you ever catch it, it's amazing.
Let's get back into the Puro Pinche Pari. So you write this music, right, in the middle of a pandemic where we're all trying to socially distance, yet you guys, let's party.
That's true, actually. Wow.
What's the reason? Oh, there was no reasoning behind that. I was thinking maybe there was like, you know, oh, well, let's kind of forget about COVID and let's try to like just remember these parties and hangouts that we had. I guess a lot of us are doing that, right, in our head, playing a party.
Yeah, I feel like when we first started making the album, like I said, that COVID wasn't a thing. So we like had this thought that we were going to make this project and it was going to be perfect for shows and it was going to be perfect for like hyping people up, you know, getting on Spotify playlists because it's going to be like, you know, that was our idea was to like make this album for live shows. And then when COVID happened, we were kind of like stopped dead in our tracks and we had to kind of reevaluate what we were doing. And I think we kind of ended up just settling and saying, no, let's just continue this project because like you're saying, like COVID's happening and we're all trying to social distance, but like, I mean, everyone's having those parties at their house by themselves or with your immediate family members, you know, like trying to make the best of like just a couple of you guys sitting like you and your family and whoever lives at your house, just, you know, and even though it might not be an actual party, you know, you're trying to keep that spirit up and that energy up. And I feel like that's why we didn't want to just like give up on the party album. We were like, no, like people still want to hear music that like gets them feeling positive and want to dance. And if anything, that's what we need more now because we don't do stuff like that. So maybe we just a little bit of that at home. That's what we need.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to you know get the shows going again and all that stuff. I'd be glad to host you all if you all come down to Laredo. What do y'all miss about shows the most?
My thing I've missed the most is just feeding off people's energy. I mean, me and my brother, we're very different performers in contrast. You know, we have our styles of what we do on stage and stuff. But me, if I see people, even if I don't see them getting lit, like I'm jumping around, I'm dancing. I mean, if we have the song Contigo that we released a little over a year ago, and people kind of learn the words to it, hearing them sing along, hearing them, just move their hand. To me, that's irreplaceable. That feeling, you don't get it anywhere else. And that for me is what I miss the most.
I would say similar answer to Luis. I mean, for me, it's also like when I play shows, it kind of puts me in that uncomfortable zone of like, oh no, I'm gonna play a show. Oh no, no. And like that is like, I think, healthy for my brain. And it like helps me kind of like reevaluate the songs and reevaluate, what I'm doing in the next song. So like I'm curious to hear what's going to be next for me and Lewis, because usually we play the songs on the album for years, and then while we're working on the newest album, and then it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like the performance of this old album is kind of like what gets it out of our system and kind of gets us into the next album. So I'm not really sure what the next project is going to sound like, since we're not going to be able to kind of express it on stage for probably another 2 years, a year and a half. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be until shows are back to normal, but I'm assuming at least a year. And see, I like that little bit of nervousness. So that stage fright is kind of what keeps me going.
What do you think about some of these shows that are going on like at a drive-through kind of, or what's it called? A drive-in kind of feel, you're performing on a stage, you're by yourself on a stage.
Yeah.
And there's just headlights coming at you.
I mean, if that's the way to keep people safe, I feel like you got to do it. I would do it. I just feel like as far as like, there's so little amount of shows that are happening like that aren't like massive artists, that I just don't see that being a plausible thing for like small artists. Like, it just doesn't seem like financially possible for like, your local bands to like get together and throw a drive-in show. Like, it's just so much more expense, so much more that it kind of almost like limits into being only corporate like shows and stuff. So I think it's great. I would love to do a show like that, but as far as it being plausible for like small artists, I mean, I hope that it gets to that point. I mean,
are you all familiar with the Cultura Beer Garden down here?
We played an event with Jessica Cisneros there once.
They ended up moving the stage to the side where the parking lot is at. So now, they can have maybe about like 15 cars total, maybe like 5 in each row. I get so anxious throwing a show already, and then to be thinking about microphones and sanitizing and social distancing and babysitting that side of it, that aspect of it. I don't know. Speaking of social distancing, you guys did a video on Puro Pinche Pari, and you guys are like at a river, right? Is that a river?
It's like a little, I guess it's a small little stream in North Austin.
It's a creek. Okay, yeah, where is that?
Bull Creek Valley Park or something, I think it's what it's called. Bull Creek.
Okay.
We worked with our good friend In Between Productions. We got him to do it, and he did an awesome job. He picked a location. And
who's In Between Productions?
He's an old friend from.
No, but what's his name?
Yeah, he's an old friend. Matthew Harrington.
Okay. Matthew Harrington. Yeah, I wrote that name down here. I was going to ask you about Matthew.
He's really a good. He knows what he's doing, and we're super happy with what we got from him.
Yeah, if anybody sees that video and wants to make some stuff, hit him up.
He was you guys credit him as the director there on that.
Yeah, he did everything on that video. I mean, before that, me and Lewis were just making stuff with our iPhones, and we kind of feel like we've made every kind of video we could possibly make with our iPhones and green screens. And In Between Productions came through and just, I mean, it's like our highest quality video. I mean, we're definitely gonna work with them again. So.
And who's Lisa Tyson?
Oh, she's also in Between Productions. She's Matthew's.
Okay.
She's art director. She's art director with Matthew.
Okay, so whose concept was that, or was that you guys, or was that theirs?
That was all definitely Matthew. He really came up with the idea because we kind of went into it. We made the song first, and we're like, how are we gonna? This is like a party song. We can't really record at a party. He just kind of weaved this story of me being like dehydrated or tired in the sun, and then my brother like kind of being like, I have beer. And me just chasing him around. I don't know. He really did it and brought it together, and I'm really happy that the way it came out.
It's a funny video. So, what's the deal with the flowers on the?
We're both very big Mexican culture aficionados. I mean, we're Mexican. We grew up crossing over Laredo all the time, and for me, I just really connected with Frida Kahlo. One Halloween, I actually dressed up as Frida Kahlo. This flower crown was part of the costume. I mean, it comes out in the music video, and if shows come back, I intend to wear it and maybe even get more extravagant ones in the future. But I'm all about define gender norms, whatever you want to call it, all that stuff.
Right.
Machismo, throw that stuff out the window. And I feel like I look cool. Like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
it's a cool representation of my Mexican heritage, I would say.
There is a bolero feel to the song. So what kind of boleros do y'all like?
Well, Lewis knows a little bit more. I mean, I love to play guitar, so Lewis has showed me a lot of music that's like new boleros, like new artists that are like recording songs now that are like classic old style boleros, like Natalia Forcade, which loves, and a lot of other artists and stuff. Growing up, I mean, we all listen to the same songs. If you're from Laredo, like those kind of stuff is like what my parents listened to, like Sabor a Mi and stuff like that. Like just classic songs that are just like in my brain that I kind of wanted to copy. I was like, I want to make a song like that. I want to make a song like that. And me and Lewis make rap music, pop music. So it's kind of hard to fit it in there. And that's kind of what we do with the album. So I would say from what we grew up with, and Lewis is more into the new Mexican music scene. And so he's gotten me into that, Luis.
For me, it went the way Eric's saying. I started discovering all of these, more contemporary Latin artists who would make bolero songs that sounded like old, but with really nice production. I'm talking like Café Tacuba, Natalia Forcade, Mon Laferte. And I actually was able to go back and listen to Los Panchos, listen to Omar Portundo, like all these artists that have been doing this exact genre for years.
Iri Gourmet and Los Dandies and all that.
Yeah. So it's really cool, El Chicano. It's really cool seeing that, despite generations of, time going by, boleros are still being made, and the production quality is getting even better. And so when Eric, I think Gaila is the one that's definitely a bolero, the first song on the album. When Eric was like, we need to do this. I mean, he's a riff lord. My brother's a riff lord, so we were able to really construct something together. And I would like for the next album, I would love to keep going down this road of tapping into those Mexican roots. That's what I would like.
Dude, I've always thought like that because me and
Raul, yeah, shouts out Raul.
Yeah.
Raul.
We always talk like, hey dude, let's make a trio album or whatever, because we grew up on that stuff. I was out with my dad when I was like 12 years old playing maracas with him and his buddies at a serenatas for Mother's Day night. And he'd give me like $50. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm rich.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that is ingrained in my soul. Boleros.
I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying with like over processed music. I feel like boleros and that stuff, that's organic music, like at its source, at its root. It's like pure music.
I guess one more question for you, Luis. Who do I listen to for like new bolero stuff?
So Natalia Forcade just dropped an album that kind of does a lot of folklorico stuff, but if you go back to her Musas albums, there's 2 volumes. It's her and these guys, these older gentlemen named Los Macorinos. It's literally just her and like 3 guitarists. And maybe there's like occasionally some bongos and stuff, but it's mostly acoustic guitar. But that's literally just full of boleros. Mon Laferte dropped an album where she does like literally every Latin genre you can think of. Like she has a salsa song, she has a reggaeton song, and she has a bolero song called Funeral, and it's beautifully sad. It's so depressing.
So I do this on most of the artist interviews. I'm gonna give you like job interview questions. If you were at an actual job interview right now, okay, you're applying like what's a dream job other than making it in music?
Me, I already know. It's what I've wanted to do since I was little. I would love to be a filmmaker or some kind of make music videos, make short films, make full motion pictures. I wrote a screenplay using my friend's music as the musical that's just sitting on a hard drive. So
oh man,
that's the real dream, to say, hey, I'm gonna set aside these next 9 months and just make a motion picture. I don't have the money for it, but that's my dream.
Eric, nothing yet?
Okay. Dream job, honestly, number 1 has got to be hip hop rapper. I mean, who doesn't want to be a rapper?
Right. But
number two, I guess it would be like somebody that works in like animations in an animation studio. I love animation.
All right. So Luis, you got Spike Lee in front of you. Not that I'm Spike Lee, but you got Spike Lee in front of you, and you're he's asking you questions to see if you're suitable for him and his team. and you got Pixar, Eric, and you're in front. You're in Disney World. I don't know. Is Pixar Disney? Yeah, right.
Sure.
Sure.
One of those.
If the company was having potluck, what would you bring?
Okay, Eric, you take this first one because Eric's a crazy cook. He cooks amazingly.
If there was a potluck and it was Pixar, what would I bring?
Right.
I'd probably make like some pozole.
Okay.
Some pozole because, these Pixar people are probably just a bunch of white people and
They need some culture.
They'll probably really like the pozole. and maybe pozole's got a lot of colors, beautiful colors.
So do you do like chicken pozole or just?
Oh no, the pork, of course.
Just pork. Okay, pork. Okay. And you got Spike Lee in front of you. How many tabs in your web browser do you typically have open, and what sites are they?
6. Usually 6. I know the exact number. So on a regular day, because I'm a teacher both out of school and I teach on English online. So I have my 2 tabs for the portal and then for the actual like home page that I go. Spotify, my Gmail, my YouTube, because I have 3 YouTube accounts that I just like jump across from. And well, this is just currently right now. I'm currently doing this like alternative teaching certification program. It's like just a bunch of modules. So I have that open. Sounds kind of boring, but that's just the honesty. This is
learning. It's learning.
It's learning. So this is for you, Eric. Describe your personality as a flavor of ice cream. They're so stupid.
I love it.
Okay, so I'm at Pixar and they asked me that question?
Yeah. You're at Pixar and they ask you that question.
A flavor of ice cream, I'm gonna guess the flavor would be pozole.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just joking. I would say probably the Napolitan. What is that? How do you even say that? Napoleon flavor?
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. Neopets. I would choose the Neopets flavor because I got like the strawberry, right? Strawberries, sweet, delicious, fruity.
Right.
What? We got the vanilla, classic, staple, right? And then we got chocolate. Depends what kind of chocolate you get, but I'm a very big fan of chocolate ice cream.
Savory.
You can't choose them all at once unless you get the Neopets flavor. So that's why I would say the Neopets one.
What the hell is
He's talking about Neapolitan.
Neapolitan? What is that? Like, is that Bluebell or what the hell
You
is
haven't seen
that?
that 3 flavor ice cream? That's like chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. You never seen it? There's like ice cream sandwiches of it too. It's delicious.
Oh, the sandwiches.
Go to HEB. They have it like in one tub, and it's all 3. And sometimes you get a mix. Sometimes you got to get all 3 of them in one.
Yes, now I know which one you're talking about. All right, last one, Luis. How do you organize your sock drawer? Oh, this one's really like I should answer this one.
Okay, so my brother knows me, and I try to be organized with like my room and stuff. But when it comes to both my undergarments and my socks, it's I have this like nightstand / drawer. There's just 2 drawers. On the top is all my boxers thrown in. On the bottom is all my socks thrown in. However, they're all in pairs. So they're all thrown all over the place. There's not really much rhyme or reason, but they each have a pair.
They're paired up.
Yes.
You're a good man.
When I grab one, I usually have one that's like, 2 white socks, or 2 black ankle socks, or hey, look at like a little bit there's a rhyme to the reason.
Yeah. Now, see, this is a follow-up question. Are you sock, shoe, shoe, or are you sock, shoe, shoe?
I'm sock, shoe, shoe.
Okay. Sure. Good man. Only savages do.
I was gonna say, like,
sock,
what
shoe,
insane person is like, gotta put on the shoe now. Can't do the other one.
Also, who doesn't pair their socks?
My wife. And it's annoying.
That's got to be difficult in the morning.
It's annoying. She walks out with like a Halloween and a Christmas sock on, and the Christmas sock has like those little furry balls on this. I'm like, what is that? And she wears like low Converse, and she's going to work.
Though.
It's a fashion statement.
It's a vibe, though.
I'm gonna burn her nightstand with the socks.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks again, man. Really
Fellas.
appreciate it.
Yes. Much appreciated. Shouts out to Raul Gonzalez, and thank you so much, Jerry. We appreciate you having us. Los Kid Brothers.
Los Kid Brothers in 2 hour indie power.